Good afternoon. Today I'm going to be reviewing the August Raurica Level 1. This watch will be available from the 28th of February on Indiegogo for $139. August Raurica are a Swedish microbrand, and they previously ran a successful Kickstarter campaign for the Level 1 with 97 backers. So they're running a second campaign, this time on Indiegogo, and the launch price will be the same, $139 on the 28th of February. So firstly, let's look at the box that the watch comes in, and then I'll talk you through the various dial colour options and strap options for the Level 1. So this is the lid to the watch box with August Raurica's brand logo and the brand emblem. And in the base, we have a foam cutout panel for the head of the piece and also the strap. So although basic, it does suffice in protecting the watch in shipping from any damage. Now, as I've discussed, the Level 1 is available in two case options, either gold or silver respectively, and three dial colour options, black, blue and white respectively. The chocolate brown strap that I'm going to be reviewing is my personal favourite, but if that's not your personal taste, there are several other calf leather strap options. All the straps are genuine Italian leather, and this one is black, as you can see, alligator finish to it, and it's made to fit the gold case version of the Level 1, so we have a gold buckle and tang, which is signed to a high standard with the August Raurica brand logo and emblem. So two keepers, one slides, one's fixed, and the first keeper is stitched either side so it can't slide out of position, flawless stitching throughout, August Raurica embossed to a high standard. One detail I like is the use of quick release stainless steel spring bars, so one doesn't need a spring bar tool to remove the strap from the head of the piece. I'll show you the other side to the black alligator leather strap. As you can see, plenty of holes in the strap to allow for fine tuning the length, and we have genuine leather embossed because it is made from genuine Italian calf leather. So very nicely finished. Now it's a padded leather strap, so it does feel stiff, although I'm confident the calf leather will break in and become very soft and supple with daily wear. Now if that black alligator leather strap isn't your personal taste, this is another strap option, the navy blue grained finish, and as you can see it's got a very aesthetically pleasing grained finish to the calf leather. This one feels more soft and supple, it's not going to require any breaking in, despite it also being padded. It tapers, it's thicker at the spring bar end and it gradually tapers down to the buckle and tang end. Again, this is made for the gold case version of the Level 1, so the buckle and tang is also gold and signed with August Raurica. I'll show you the other side to it. As you can see, beautiful grained finish to the Italian calf leather, nice dark navy blue tone to the leather, and the underside is stitched to a flawless standard, plenty of holes, and we have genuine leather embossed as well as the quick release spring bar. So numerous strap options. Now of the various options, this silver case version with the white style and also the chocolate brown alligator leather strap is my personal favourite. I think this is the best looking version of the Level 1. I really like the matte colour to the calf leather strap. They've made the correct decision by not using a glossy finish which would fit a dress piece. This is clearly meant to be a daily wear piece, and therefore a matte chocolate brown alligator strap fits better with it being a daily wear piece. So with regards to the specifications of the piece, this is the August Raurica Level 1. We have a 40mm case diameter, we have a 45mm lug-to-lug measurement, a thickness of 8.2mm and a lug width of 22mm. The calf leather strap tapers from 22mm at the lugs down to the buckle and tang. Solid 316L grade stainless steel buckle and tang, flawless mirror polishing to the top side, underside and flanks, and signed to a high standard with August Raurica's brand logo and emblem. Nice heavy gauge of metal to the buckle and tang. I like the curved profile to it. No burrs, no sharp edges, it's finished to perfection. The mirror polishing is very high quality. Two keepers as per the other straps, and one slides, one's fixed. And as you can see, the underside is finished to a very high standard as per the other straps with the stainless steel quick release spring bar. So with regards to the brand, I'll explain the background to where August Raurica comes from. August Raurica is a Swedish microbrand, but the name is inspired by an ancient Roman city in Switzerland from 44 BC called August Raurica. So the design continuity is very good on this watch because the name August Raurica is from the ancient Roman city, and on the dial we have Roman numerals which fit very well with this being a Roman inspired watch. And also on the case back we have a Roman soldier on horseback, and around the circumference of the screwed down case back, we also have that Roman pattern to it. So the embossed Roman soldier on horseback is done to a very high standard, and that really does add to the continuity of design. Roman numerals on the dial, Roman brand name, and then we also have the Roman soldier on horseback. So there are 3 dial colour options. We've got black, blue or white. This matte white dial version is my personal favourite. I like the contrasting black Roman numerals. As you can see, they're printed on the matte white dial. They contrast very well. So the symmetry, the legibility, the functionality of this matte white dial version is very good. I think it's the best option of the 3 dial colour options, black, blue and white. Date complication at 3 o'clock is clearly legible because we have a white date wheel with black Arabic numerals. The hands have a lovely shape to them. They're mirror polished to a very high standard, made from stainless steel. And I really like the fact they're skeletonized because they work very well with the very slender Roman numerals printed on the dial. I like the fact the dial isn't over-branded with unnecessary text and specification. We simply have August Raurica and the brand emblem at 12. And at the 6 o'clock position, we simply have Swiss movement, and that is correct, because the watch is indeed powered by a Swiss Ronda 715 quartz. So with regards to the 715, let's test the crown execution. The crown is knurled finish, and it's got a mirror polished domed cap to it, as you can see, with the August Raurica brand emblem engraved to a very high standard. So it's a push-pull crown which provides an effective hermetic seal to 50 metres, which is perfectly acceptable for a daily wear piece. Pulling it out to the final click position is the time setting position. And one characteristic I like about the Ronda 715 quartz is it's got a nice firm resistance to it. There's no back play whatsoever, both clockwise and anti-clockwise, so it's an absolute pleasure to set the time. Firmer resistance than in an automatic or a manual wind piece, so that may take some getting used to if you're familiar with mechanical pieces. I really like the firm resistance of the 715 and the lack of backplay. It feels like a good solid movement which is going to last a lifetime. So the 715 quartz has hacking, and this is something that I like about it because often quartz movements don't have hacking. One can't stop the second hand dead to set the time precisely to the second, but as you can see, I've now hacked the movement. Pushing it back in restarts it, and it's got a nice positive click. Now pulling the crown out to the first click position is the quick set date complication setting position, and if you look closely at the date, you can see the quick set complication works as one would expect. Again, nice firm resistance to it, nice positive click. The date is very well indexed. One can feel the click of each day of the month clicking over. And I really like the 715. It's got that nice, firm, positive feeling to it. The indexing of the quick set date is very satisfying to use. So it's got 2 click positions. The first click is the quick set date complication. The second click is the time setting position I demonstrated, which also operates the hacking. So very good crown execution. 50 meters is perfectly acceptable, and a push-pull crown on a daily wear piece, again, is perfectly acceptable. Right, so looking at the case back, we've got a solid 316L grade stainless steel case back. Now, I think August Raurica deserve full credit because they could have used the cost-cutting measure of using a pressed-on case back, which would have provided 50 metres of hermetic seal, perfectly acceptable for a daily wear piece. But they've taken the more expensive production cost option of a screwed down case back. As you can see, there are flathead screws securing the stainless steel case back to the case. So this is more expensive to produce because the case back has to be drilled and the case has to be tapped for the flathead screws. Now, it provides an effective hermetic seal to 50 metres, which is perfectly acceptable. The benefit of using a screwed down case back rather than a pressed on case back is you can replace the battery in the Ronda 715 quartz movement yourself. So the battery life is 5 years, which is very impressive, but rather than having to return the piece to a watchmaker to get them to remove the pressed on case back or a conventional screwed down case back if you don't have the correct tools, you simply need a flathead screwdriver to remove the screws, and the case back lifts off so you can replace the battery yourself. So it's a very low maintenance piece. It doesn't require you taking the watch to a watchmaker to get the battery changed every 5 years. You can use the flathead screwdriver to remove the screws yourself, lift off the case back, change the battery, screw the case back on. So they've made the correct decision. Although it's more expensive, it's high quality, and I like the screwed down case back with the screws. As you can see, it's very aesthetically pleasing, flawless mirror polishing to it. It has the specification engraved to high standard, And my favourite detail of it is this embossed Roman soldier on horseback, as you can see. It's just finished to a beautiful finish, matte sandblasted finish to it, and we've got the Roman pattern around the circumference. It's just absolutely incredible detail. This is the kind of detail to an embossed case back one would expect to see on a mid-tier or high-tier piece. One certainly doesn't get this attention to detail on a low-tier piece costing only $139, so it's very good looking, and it does fit the aesthetic of it being inspired by a Roman city from 44 BC, August Raurica in Switzerland. And I like the Roman numerals on the dial, which complement this Roman soldier on horseback on the caseback, so the design continuity of this piece is very good. Right, so I'll give you a wrist shot and you can see how it fits on my 8-inch wrist. Now, minor criticism is the Italian calf leather strap is just a fraction too short for my 8-inch wrist. But however, I say minor criticism because for the majority of collectors, which this watch is clearly made for, with a 6 to 7-inch wrist, this calf leather strap will fit you no problem whatsoever. If you have a larger 7 to 8-inch wrist, you may need to fit a longer strap, such as an XL length strap. But if you have a 6 to 7-inch wrist, the strap will fit you no problem whatsoever, and you'll engage the end of the strap in the two keepers. Now, having said that, the calf leather strap is incredibly comfortable. This is a very low profile piece, and this is the benefit of using the Swiss Ronda Quartz 715, because the movement is only 2.5 millimeters thick, so it's a very low profile movement, and that meant that August Raurica could make the level 1 a very low profile piece. As you can see, it is only 8.2 millimeters. Now, had they used a manual wind or automatic piece, a mechanical movement, this would have been in excess of 10 millimeters. By using a 715, which is only 2.5 millimeters, they have got it down to only 8.2 millimeters. And as you can see, it is incredibly low profile. It's one of the thinnest watches I have reviewed on my channel. And bear in mind, I've reviewed over 200 watches. This is a very slender piece. Beautiful low profile to the curved lugs, as you can see. Very snug fit. There's no unsightly gap underneath the lugs. And they've also made the correct decision with regards to the dimensions. The 22mm lug width means that the 22mm calf leather strap perfectly balances the 40mm head of the piece. So although it's a 40mm, it actually wears more like a 39, and it really benefits from being only 8.2mm. Now, the other thing to note is it's got a relatively short lug-to-lug measurement of only 45. Now, you'll know from my previous reviews, I consider 48mm to be the sweet spot, regardless of whether you're a collector with a 6 to 7-inch wrist or a 7 to 8-inch wrist, respectively. At 45, this makes the piece perfectly adequate and a really good fit if you're a collector with a smaller wrist of 6 to 7 inches. Often it's the case with 40mm daily wear pieces. The lug-to-lug measurement is too long. It's in excess of 48mm, and also the 22mm wears too wide on a smaller wrist. But by shortening the lug-to-lug measurement down to 45 and curving the lugs as they have done, it's incredibly suitable for a 6 to 7-inch wrist. Now, this is on my 8-inch wrist, but as you can see, it also fits very well. The proportions are very good. 22mm means that it's a very well balanced head of the piece on the wide leather strap. The taper on the strap is also done to perfection. Nice taper from 22 down to the buckle and tang. Now, the thing that I really like about this piece most of all is it only weighs 50 grams on the Italian calf leather strap. Normally with a 40mm piece, even on a leather strap, one would expect it to be in excess of 100 grams if it had a mechanical movement, such as a manual wind or an automatic movement. But because this has a Ronda 715 quartz, it's incredibly lightweight. The movement is only 2.5mm, it's very lightweight. And that means they were able to reduce the heft of the piece down to only 50 grams. It feels invisible on wrist. If you're looking for a practical daily wear piece without the hassle of having to manually wind a movement, or alternatively wear it 8 hours per day if it's an automatic movement, a quartz is a practical piece. It's a date complication piece. One doesn't have to set the time, and also one doesn't have to manually wind it. And very low profile, very comfortable, very lightweight at only 50 grams. So I would say to you, it's particularly suitable if you have a smaller wrist of 6 to 7 inches due to the proportions, due to the lack of heft, and due to the fact it's incredibly thin at only 8.2mm. Right, so let's discuss the movement used, because it's one of my favourite aspects of the piece. This is powered by the Ronda 715 quartz, which is a personal favourite of mine. I really like Ronda quartz movements because they're Swiss made, they're high quality. Ronda have a very strong reputation for making very good quality quartz movements. The 715 is one of the best quartz movements they make. It has 5 joules and it is gold plated. Now, the one thing I really like about the 715 in particular is it has a 5-year battery life. Often quartz movements such as the Miyota 2115, for example, which is a popular choice for micro brands, the Miyota 2115 has a 2-year battery life, which is typical for a quartz powered movement. So 5-year battery life from the Ronda 715 is very impressive because potentially you could purchase this piece and wear it every day for 5 years without having to ever change the battery. You never need to manually wind it, it doesn't need to be put on an automatic watch winder. This is the benefit, the practicality of using a quartz piece. Now, the other thing I really like about the 715 Ronda movement in particular is it has a good feature of hacking. Now, one can hack the second hand to set the time precisely, which is a benefit, but also it's a unique feature of the 715. If you pull out the crown to the time setting position and hack the movement, this has the effect of reducing the power consumption of the movement by 70%. You can save 70% of the battery life by pulling out the crown and hacking it. So this makes it particularly suitable if you have a collection of several pieces and you wear this watch in rotation with other pieces and you want to extend the 5-year battery life to more than 5 years. If you're not going to be wearing this every day, for example, if you wear it once a week or once a month, when you're not wearing it, you can pull out the crown and hack the movement, and that will save 70% of the battery life. It will extend it past 5 years, and then of course when you put it back on, you simply set the time and push in the crown and that restarts the movement. So the 70% power saving is a very good feature of the 715, and it's something that other quartz movements such as the Miyota 2115 doesn't have. Now lastly, there's one other thing that I really like about the Ronda 715. It has a stated accuracy of -10 to +20 seconds per day. So I'm going to put that into perspective. Often quartz movements will have a stated accuracy of ±20 seconds per day, which is very good. This has better accuracy. It's -10 to +20 seconds per month. Not per day, not per week. That is -10 to +20 seconds per month, better than ±1 second per day. That is better accuracy than you can get from very high tier pieces with manual wind and automatic movements. Better than ±1 second per day. The Ronda 715 is an incredibly accurate movement. It's a reliable, well-proven workhorse Swiss-made movement, and the quality control, the build quality, the materials are a level above the Miyota 2115 quartz, which is the popular default option for microbrands. So I want to give due credit to August Raurica because they have made the correct decision. They could have taken the less expensive option of using the Miyota 2115, but they didn't. They used the more expensive option of the Ronda 715, which is a very high grade of Ronda movement because it is gold plated. So I think it's the correct choice, and they've done the right thing by putting Swiss movement on the dial at 6 to let collectors know this. It's something to be very proud of. They didn't use a Chinese quartz movement and they didn't use the Miyota 2115, which is Japanese made. They used a genuine Swiss Ronda 715. So lastly, I'll summarise the piece. What do I think of it overall? Well, when I'm considering reviewing a watch on my channel, the watch should meet 2 criteria. It should be both excellent quality and excellent value at the respective price point. So on the 28th of February, the launch of the Indiegogo campaign, the launch price will be $139. Yes, this is unquestionably excellent quality, and yes, it is unquestionably excellent value at $139. The specification is very strong. We have sapphire crystal with clear AR coating on the underside. We have a genuine Swiss 715 quartz movement, and we also have a screwed down caseback rather than a pressed on caseback. The build quality, the quality control, the finishing and the crown execution, everything about this watch is excellent. It's an outstanding piece, and also it has a high grade Italian calf leather strap which is finished to perfection. So August Raurica deserve full credit for producing an excellent quality watch and an excellent value watch in the level 1. I'm going to declare it a champagne watch for lemonade money, and I'm going to highly recommend it to you for your consideration. I hope you've enjoyed my review of the August Raurica level 1. Please feel free to post your own comments below the video. Thank you very much.